This is the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Week 12 as the season winds down. The games keep a-coming and they start to catch fire as we will get another good clash here from Oklahoma City and Bossier City. Hello folks, I'm Tyler Falk, joined in the booth for the first time in a long time by my good friend, Brett Solberg. Hi Brett, we've got two teams on the outside looking into the playoffs. Any dwindling hope, one of these two teams has to have a win to have any resemblance of that.
It's simple with these two teams. It's a must-win scenario for both these squads. Oklahoma City, this is a team that's been slowly building themselves up after coming into, back into this league, and they've done well. They've got the 2 wins under the belt, and now they're playing a Bossier City team where I said it at the start of this broadcast behind closed doors. Probably the most unlucky team. There's so many one-score games. You flip that record, they could be 6-2 right now, but they've just had the worst luck. Hopefully they can turn this around, win this out, get themselves back to playoff hopes. Nonetheless, both these teams have something to fight for still, so this should still be a great game we're going to have here tonight.
Both teams in their traditional uniforms, Renegades, white helmets, navy blue jerseys, red pants in Bossier City, white, blue, as here we go. And unlike the last 2 games I've called for Bossier City, there will be no opening kickoff return for a touchdown because the ball goes out of the back, the end zone for a touchback. Therefore, Johnny Pickler will lead his troops onto the field for the first time under center.
And one of the things you have to look for with Johnny Pickler is which Johnny Pickler is going to come onto the field. He's got 16 interceptions this season. Most of them have come in the last 3 games.
What has really helped Bossier City out last couple of weeks, or what they've really been aspired to, as Noel picks up 8 yards here on the first play of the game, is they start off hot. They get going, they get down the field, and they get a score, whether it be a touchdown or field goal, but the wheels seem to always fall off. Like you said, unlucky, just that right rear blows a flat, or the windshield wipers all of a sudden go, haywire. Something happens, and it seems like in every single game over the past 5 games in a row, as Pickler gets a QB sneak up the middle for the first down of the game, where something just doesn't work. They've only lost, the largest margin of defeat this season is only 12 points. That was at home against Detroit back in week 10.
Yeah, and even looking at those losses there, Fort Worth, 7 points. Mexico City, 5 points. Chicago, 7 points. Charleston, 3. Florida, 2. Like I said, you flip those, we'd be talking about a Bossier City team that could be potentially leading their division instead.
Up inside. Another grab for Noel, but he's going to go backward 2 yards. Harrison Kilgore is there behind the line for the takedown. As we introduce you to the Steamer offense, we met Robert Noel and Robert Nemchuk, the 2-tailed back, Speedy Gonzalez at the fullback, Dave Axis, Vin Calia, Jeff Banfield in the wideouts with Adam Williams and Garrison Blue at tight end. Juke and Rook and Anthony Anderson, Yogi Bar and Hokie Bar lead the way in the trenches on the line. Pickler, middle, caught, first down, cross the 45, Garrison Blue.
Yeah, and you have to think Bossier City's mindset is going to be run first, then pass later if that run doesn't work out. Like we saw on these last 2 plays. The first run didn't quite work, so they went to Pickler on the pass, found Garrison Blue. Oklahoma City's run defense has been their crux this season. It's been tough for them to defend the run, and it was even tougher when they played Houston and they let Tino Sosa run for 170 plus. Bossier City's looking to do the same with Rob Noel.
Well, shoulder charge, right side, first down, as he out-hustles Brady Clark there on the far sideline for another Steamer first down.
Yeah, and this is a Steamer team that has wanted to pride themselves this season on the run, but right now are 18th in the league in rushing offense, just 85 yards per game. This was a highly touted team that saw huge improvements from Noel, Nemchuk, and Gonzalez, and the results haven't shown for them.
Ted Plus there on the last play. Now from the Renegade 43 as cutting it back inside. Still trying to turn the legs. 10 more yards for Nemchuk.
Yeah, and Nemchuk is, he's been trying. He's been a guy that, maybe has played, better than Noel in certain aspects of the game. Actually leads the team. If you take away Vin Calia's lone carry so far this season, and average yards per run at 4.3 yards. They should use Nemchuk a little bit more here tonight.
Now at the 32, Noel to the right side. Out of yet another tackle. This time Brady Clark cleans up the tackle for only a gain of 3 for Bossier City as we meet the Renegade defense. Shin Yuanda, Harrison Kilgore, and Frank Doom are the D linemen, with Sabo Kanan and Aaron Gooden at linebacker. Sammy Seatbelt III, Farrell Rains, who is inactive tonight, alongside Thomas Rahman Jr. are the corners, with Thomasina Rahman and Brady Clark at safety. Good catch here, meanwhile, for another first down. This time it is Adam Williams. Saw very little of him last week. Gets in the action in the first quarter, first drive here.
Yeah, and Adam Williams hasn't been seen a lot this season either. That's just his 4th reception this season. But when he has the opportunity, he can get you those scores. Remember, out of those 3 receptions heading into this game, one of them did go for a score. So Pickler has options with the receiving game. It's just a matter of trying to find them, which it could prove to be fruitful on this drive.
By a stretch play, Noel out of 1, gets some good blocking, and he's free. Touchdown, Bossier City. Well, I tell you, first drive, always a success here last few weeks for Bossier City.
Yeah, and it was just a picture-perfect drive, and that's what you want to see out of a team that wanted to pride themselves in the run game this season. They had Noel really start to dictate the tempo of the game. They got Nemchik involved. If the run game wasn't working for them, Pickler was throwing. He was finding his targets. That's a perfect drive that you want to see out of Bossier City to start this game, especially away from home.
80-yard drive there from the Steamers. Takes a little over 3 minutes off the clock. And we have our first points of the ball game. 7-0 Steamers in enemy territory. But now their defense, now we got to see whether or not something's changed here in the last couple of weeks. We'll talk more about that after this kickoff here by Matt Fennick. Back underway. Renegades will wait to return near the 5-yard line. Here comes the return from Jonathan Kilgore. And that one will go all the way up to the 29-yard line. Very straight. A tight end returning kicks here. Brett, as King Jackson, the quarterback for the Renegades, takes the field.
Yeah, and we know what Oklahoma City is going to do offensively. They're going to sprinkle some run here and there, but it's mostly going to be King Jackson trying to find his target. It's most likely going to be either one of elite tight ends, Tiberius Bovine or Stephen McMichael. So look who is on the line to start off their drive.
2 backs to the backfield, 3 wide out in the picture. Jackson's first play will be a pass left side into hotly contested coverage. Incomplete. Pink Lisa in on the coverage as we introduce you to the Renegade rest of their offense. Richard Powers and Tom Rahman are the tailbacks, with Queen Jackson, who's inactive tonight, alongside Christian Bacigalupe and Dallas Sanders at wideout. Jonathan Kilgore, Tiberius Bovine, and Stephen McMichaels are the tight ends. Special note about Tiberius Bovine being my father-in-law. Happy belated birthday to the Hall of Famer, as that pass over the middle incomplete. Another Pink Lisa deflection, and it brings up an early 3rd down.
Yeah, and it looks to be that both targets so far from King Jackson has been sent over to Dallas Sanders, who, hasn't had his luck so far this season himself. Just 4 receptions for 28 yards coming into this game. Now it's a 3rd and 10. You have to think it will go to Bovine and McMichaels on this play.
Empty backfield, 4 wide. Jackson will throw again, looking middle again. This time is caught by the birthday boy himself to midfield.
Yeah, and what's crazy between these 2 tight ends, and a happy belated birthday to Tiberius Bovine, even though I don't think he's met me in his entire life at all, but these 2 tight ends, Bovine and McMichaels, have a combined 90 receptions coming into this game between the 2. Bovine with 39, McMichaels 4th best at 51 receptions. Jackson likes to throw to those tight ends.
That's probably wondering what I got him for his birthday. Well, I gifted him a free fantasy football win, that's for sure. As it's 1st and 10, Jackson looking middle. This one incomplete, in and out of the hands of McMichaels. Good hit by Bogey Barr. The linebackers we meet, rest of Barr's compatriots on the defensive side for the Steamers. Stephen Fellows II, Rob Foraker, and Biff Markham alongside Jobu McSlim are the defensive linemen. Bogey Barr lines up alongside Freddie Trammell at linebacker. And at corner, it's Pink Lisa, Michaela Foraker, Stuart Zomelia, and Goody McGuire. The lone contracted safety tonight is Zach Holder for the Bog Fun out here this week. Jackson to the air again, gonna try and roll. He's out of a tackle, finally gets the screen to set up, and now he's off to the races down to the near side. He's out of bounds, just shy of the line to gain. Good play from Jackson, finally finding Tom Rahman near side.
And you know, in this SFL league, it's very tough to establish the screen pass. And Jackson did enough not only to get a 7-step drop, but to evade a sack so that the blockers could get enough time to get in front of Rahman so that he could get those 9.5.
Try and run for the last inch. Out of one tackle, out of another shifty move on the outside, and Powers picks it up.
Yeah, and that's good running from Powers, and more importantly, that offensive line has really come in to help out with Powers as well. He got off that one tackle, but it was all the wherewithal to make sure that he extended out to the farther left side so that he'd get that yard.
Jackson, middle cut, first down near the 20-yard line. Renegades continue to move down the field. Brett, this is what I was talking about last week in the loss for Bossier City. They played against Fort Worth, who were down to 2 wide receivers midway through the game because of injuries and activity, and they couldn't find a way to stop the pass. And here tonight on the first drive, it's looking eerily similar.
Yeah, and it's not going to help if Stuart Zamilia is getting beaten by Bovine as well.
Jackson, middle, oh my goodness, what a pretty pass from Jackson, finding Bovine again, 1st and goal, Renegades.
Well, check that out, that's McMichaels there, 87-89. Very, very tough to see. They're much similar builds in terms of body frame, so that makes it tough all on its own. But this time, beating Bogey Barr is McMichaels, and sometimes McMichaels looks like a wide receiver in tight end form just because of, you know, sometimes compared to those linebackers, he's much slimmer, but he's got that strength to catch, haul, and secure that catch past the linebacker.
From the 3.5, 1st and goal, come Oklahoma City. Run, middle, no dice. Pink Lisa with another play here on the opening drive for the defense, and she comes up into the gap.
And this has been OKC's fatal flaw so far this season. I've seen many a times they go into the red zone, especially inside the 5. They resort on the run. The offensive line just can't keep against these defenses in the SFL.
88%, it won't matter here. Touchdown, Renegades. They storm right back with a Tom Rahman diving Russian score.
Yeah, and this time it was me eating my own words because the offensive line just broke open the gap. They had, and Rahman had 2 gaps to choose from either side, and it was just perfect blocking. And give credit where credit is due. Again, talking about Stephen McMichaels, a slimmer frame in terms of a tight end set, but he still finds a way to use that brute strength to just push other defenders down, and that's what helped Rahman get to the end zone. OKC responds after Bossier City cruised down the field.
And with the extra point from Anderson, we are back to a level score game again. Dugan was the one who got the extra point. Now here comes the kickoff from Dorgan as well as we are back underway. This time there will be a return here from the Steamers, looking toward the near side. Good little shifty move, trying to get out of the final tackle that would have seen Nimchik spring free. However, he's taken down, and now it's time for another Steamer drive. And if the first 2 drives of the game are anything to go by here, Brett, we're in for a gun show.
Essentially what Bossier City needs to do is they need to keep applying that pressure. OKC can do well in the early onset, but Bossier City's goal in this game, play a full 40 minutes of football with some high-intensity offense.
They'll start the drive at their own 27-yard line. Blitz coming, pass, middle, caught, Blue. Had to go up for it, and he came down with it, 8 yards.
A very impressive quick throw and catch from Pickler to Blue as well, because you don't see that, again, going into the not seen too often archives is the quick throw and catch to the tight end. You don't see that all too often. Usually it's like it's a wide receiver hitch play, if anything.
The Pickler run, gets a good run up the middle on the QB sneak. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry on his first 2 runs.
Yeah, and sometimes you just don't think of quarterbacks, you know, scrambling for that ball all too much, but I can think of 3 quarterbacks that do it so well. Eric Price, Ty Patak, and right here, Johnny Pickler.
Some wideouts to to Pickler's right. On a fresh set of downs, handoff near side. Noel out of one, but is taken down shortly thereafter.
Yeah, and OKC's goal defensively definitely has to recognize what kind of run game is Bossier City going to bring to the table, because some games they like to go on the inside, other games they like to stretch it out to the outside. So far, they're using Noel on the stretch plays, and then they're using Nemchik on the insides.
I formation, Pickler will throw, blitz coming off the edge, and oh, a beautiful pass, caught the safety off guard, and Bossier City flying down the field. Adam Williams, his second grab of the night, again goes for 15 plus.
Yeah, you'll see on the play here that Thomasina Rahman was looking for the pick, but was just way too far from the play, and that just ended up being a picture-perfect, easy pass for Adam Williams.
Say that was a 30-yard pass from Pickler to Williams. Now they'll go to the ground game with Noel, near side. Good blocking upfield, untouched before Noel hit the first down marker. Great play call. When you show highlights of this game to both offenses, this is the type of run you want to see.
Yeah, and just look how the offensive line just leads Noel on that left side and helps him just find a path. And then Noel does the rest of it by shredding off a tackler, getting an extra 4 or 5 yards after the fact, and setting up Bossier City in great field position.
Split backfield here for the Steamers on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. Middle, Nemchik out of it. His second rushing touchdown of the first quarter.
And man, oh man, again, we're talking about a Bossier City team that wanted to establish a run against the worst running defense in the league. And OKC, try as they must, they just can't get to these guys. First it was Noel, and now Nemchik kind of just finishes the work. Again, going with the inside run and just really paying it off. As much as OKC has done well in scoring, it seems like Bossier City is just scoring back in quicker fashion.
Second rushing touchdown for the Steamer offense. Noel with one, Nemchik with one. Now they gotta get Johnny Pickler in for the hat trick, as it's 14-7 in favor of the Bossier City Steamers.
The 4th touchdown this season for Robert Nemchik, and that's something he can kind of hang his hat on. He's got 2 seasons in, he's already got 9 rushing touchdowns.
Back on the way, here comes Kilgore. Stiff arm, looking to the near side. Another stiff arm for Kilgore. The big beefy tight end to the 44-yard line. Who says tight ends can't be returners?
Yeah, and sometimes when you have 2 tight end spots filled by a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer in Bovine and McMichaels respectively, sometimes opportunity arises for a guy like Jonathan Kilgore, who may not be the fastest player out there, but man, you can see the strength in action when he can stiff arm and send 2 special teams players from Bossier City into the shadow realm.
And OKC gonna start this drive very aggressively. Empty backfield. Jackson to unleash this one. Caught. There's Bovine. 13 yards. Steamers having trouble with the pass again.
And again, it's 2 guys that you think is going to head it towards. Bovine and McMichaels are going to be King Jackson's first looks, and then he's going to look at Bacigalupi, which, surprisingly enough, no targets yet for Botsy, but Dallas Sanders has gotten those looks too. So maybe OKC is looking to change things up that way, which is misdirecting Bossier City, at least in this first quarter.
Quick flip of the field. Now from the Steamer 42.5. Jackson middle looking for Bacigalupi, and he was impeded. Free first down as the PI goes against the Steamers.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Tyler. You called the last Bossier City game, and I believe it wasn't Fort Worth. It was another opponent there. But the issue with Bossier City on certain occasions was the pass interference calls as well. I remember one definitely in the Fort Worth game that really shifted the tide in that contest. Will it affect him here tonight?
Might be the Detroit game you're thinking of. I've traveled pretty much with Bossier City everywhere they've been. Started out in Bossier City, then went down to Texas, now up in Oklahoma. Or, let's see, they're going to play D.C. in Week 14. I'll head to the nation's capital then, too. Jackson under pressure, gets rid of it, caught. poise under pressure. Jackson finds Kilgore.
Yeah, and now Kilgore getting involved in the pass game, saying, I'm not just a return man, I can be a receiver as well. It doesn't matter what spot I'm in. I'm going to get King Jackson his yards. I'm going to get OKC my yards and get the Renegades in the red zone. And right now, this pass game has been ultra effective.
Potentially the final play of the first quarter with 16 seconds and counting. Jackson will air it out, looking middle, off the hands of his intended target, Bossier. This time the hit came when it should have to knock the ball free.
Yeah, didn't mind that look at all, looking for a short crosser. And sometimes you have to do that when you know, throw deeper than 10 yards, it feels like every pass. You've got to change that level of, that eye level for Bossier City linebackers for sure.
Already 10 passing attempts for Jackson to open the game. Has completed 7 of them, 1 of them to Barr, who's taking it back the other way for the Steamers all the way home. Touchdown, Bossier City. The defense finally stops the pass.
Is this Bossier City against Arizona? Because I feel like we've seen this play before, especially with Bogey Barr, who also returned something of, I don't know, 100-yard plus pick six to the house. This time, maybe not 100 yards, but Bogey Barr, he's a cornerback in disguise as a linebacker, as he just lurks in wait, finding those outside passes, and he just connects. He doesn't have those Jeff Gagne stone hands, I'll say that for sure.
What a great start to the game for Bossier City. Snap spot extra point is up. It has been it's been since week 3, since Bossier City have had more than 20 points in a game. They get 21 in the first quarter. It's 21-7 Steamers. You're watching the SFL on VFN. Welcome back to Renegade Nation Stadium. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here on the call. Ellie Diomas and JW Hartshorn back in the stats truck, and SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at VFN Studios. We're glad to have you with us. The Steamers with a defensive touchdown from Bogey Barr push it out to a 21-7 ball game. And now it is time for Oklahoma City to drive down to the field. They were almost there, Brett, almost at the end zone. Just one mistake cost them dearly.
Yeah, and Oklahoma City, you just need to forget about it. You've had your quarter break. You've had enough time to rest. Now it's time to get that pass game going again.
And a motion toward the near side. That's Bossier. Pass middle. The former tight end slammed hard into the ground after picking up 9.
Yeah, that one was a tough catch to make. It doesn't matter if you're a wide receiver, tight end, if you're an offensive lineman that can secure catches. That was a hard hit, and he still found a way to secure it.
You run to try and pick up the first down. Middle, that's good. Gain of about 4 for Rahman.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be the peak of what you're going to get out of Tom Rahman, and that's no fault of his. It's a lot with that offensive line. He only averages 2.4 yards per carry, so he's not going to be the guy that you're going to rely on all too much. It's going to be formations like this you're going to see out of King Jackson and OKC.
Rahman's second carry of the game. It has been a primarily passing attack from Oklahoma City. 12 passes compared to only 4 runs. Jackson, middle caught with room to run. It's McMichaels inside the 30, inside the 25, but out of bounds near the 23-yard line of Bossier City. They're right back to where they were just a few seconds ago.
And again, you talk about that discrepancy between pass and run. Just heading into this game, 279 pass attempts from King Jackson, just 103 run attempts from OKC. So they pass at probably a 2-to-1 click rate. And that's basically an anomaly compared to other teams in this league who would try to do as much 50-50 as possible. But OKC has fully embraced this pass game, and they've moved down the field well because of this pass game here tonight.
30 yards for Jackson. He looks to the air again, rolling and scanning and firing middle, caught. Bachagalupi, they'll give him 6 after the bar tackle.
Yeah, and they're in sometimes we forget, because of how long this season can be, that King Jackson already has 2 400-plus yard campaigns, including one against Minnesota that had their opening week victory. So Jackson can be dangerous against any team.
Pitch right side, Rahman in trouble, and down he goes. Run going nowhere, me even lost one.
And that's the issue you're going to face with OKC. As much as they're a great passing offense, that run game is still in its inception stages, and still trying to figure out, still trying to establish how they can get themselves, really involved. So Jackson has more on his shoulders that way.
Wide open, it's Bachagalupi, and it's another touchdown for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing here so far, Tyler, is that Bossier City is leaving that middle of the field wide open for these receivers just to run down the field. And Bossier essentially just said, you know what? I'll just run a straight route down the middle. If I get open, that's going to be an easy touchdown. And Jackson saw him, and that probably felt like Oklahoma City's easiest touchdown pass this season. As much as Bossier City has played well, OKC has played just as well here tonight.
Pick is up and good, and after the thumping that the Renegades took last week on the road in Houston, being shut out, they've got 14 points here in the first half, and it's back to a 1-score deficit between them and the Steamers. Kickoff is on its way from Dorgan as we get another return, this time out of Sleeves. They have access, had a kick return touchdown to open the game last week. He's held up rather quickly on this return.
Yeah, and Dave Axis, we've talked about this for many seasons. Dangerous threat when it comes to the returns, and it doesn't matter if it's kick returns, punt returns, Amazon delivery returns either. He's the guy that he's going to be a dangerous option no matter what. So OKC's got to stick with him. Doesn't matter if it's the first, second, third, or fourth quarter. He can get those scores in an instant.
Steamers will start on their own 28-yard line. Try and run with Noel, who's had some decent success here tonight, and he hits another 5 yards to his tally.
Yeah, and this is going to be the game where Rob Noel kind of reestablishes himself as one of the top running backs in this game. As he's, kind of flirted with it so far. He's 11th in yards so far, 14th in carries, but he's getting those yards tonight.
It's coming, but Pickler able to get the pass off in time, finding Blue down the numbers. Good pitch, good catch, first down.
Yeah, and the issue right now is that these corners are getting absolutely demolished in terms of speed. Doesn't matter who it is right now. Garrison Blue is even beating Sammy Seatbelt to the punch. So these safeties have to come in, and they're just too little too late in these passes.
Run here on first down. Noel gets a block. Noel still fighting. They can gain up another 5 yards. Now well over 60 on the night. And the Renegades, who we've already mentioned, Brett, have a tough time containing the run. And right now, already Noel well on his way to 100 yards.
Yeah, SFL's only team to allow more than 200 yards in terms of the rush. And that might be conflated because of a couple games where, teams have got 300 on them.
Pass left side, wide open. Oh, I wouldn't say wide open, but I looked that way. Another brilliant catch from Blue, outsmarting the man in coverage.
Sometimes I feel bad for Clark and Rahman, especially on those safety sides, because when you have open spots that you have to cover, and you are completely outmatched against the tight end in terms of position, it makes your job that much tougher to try to get that ball loose or deflect it, and it just hasn't been their night.
Bossier City again in the red zone. They've been perfect here tonight with 2 touchdowns, looking for more here. Calia, we haven't even called his name once tonight. Goes to the left-hand side. They'll try and pitch Noel near side. He's out of 1 tackle. but Kanan is there, among others, with the stop. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't mentioned yet here, Tyler, Johnny Pickler, perfect so far in his passing. 6 of 6, over 100 yards. He's found his targets. He's prime form tonight.
Picture perfect Pickler. We'll see if it continues. Looking for number 7 potentially on this play. Instead, it'll be a run. Nimchek, who is clobbered. No gain, maybe a gain of 1. Jeremiah Trotter, they're on the stop.
Yeah, and this is a big opportunity for OKC to see essentially our first stalled drive of the game, because every drive that we've seen so far has been a score.
This is the first 3rd down of the game for Bossier City. Pickler looking to throw, stepping up, trying to find a way out. He will not. Kanan with the sack and a drive killer.
Yeah, and sacks might be few and far between, only because these two teams have struggled with the pass rush, both at 9.5 sacks this season. But this is a great opportunity to get Bossier City to stall on their drive, force Matt Fennick to kick a field goal, and maybe OKC can run it back.
That's perfect. 11 of 11 on the season, make him 12 for 12 in season 25, as the Steamers now take a 10-point cushion. You're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFN, SFL Week 12 continues through tomorrow, and the SFLM has a triple header on Tuesday. No other network gives you more football. The SFL lives right here on the Virtual Football Network. And here comes a return here for Oklahoma City, and pretty decent return all told for Dallas Sanders. He gets up to the 28-yard line, and now here comes the Renegade offense. It's been pass, 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 and for all but one pass, it's worked out pretty well for them tonight.
And right now, the pass has been working. It's been like 90% of their yards has come through the pass so far. 161 of their 169 has been through the pass, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
See the total yards comparison up in the top right of your corner. Very, very little to separate these two teams in terms of that, though they're all the 10 points that are more of a factor. Pass middle, it's nearly intercepted. Steamers were in the right place, right time, just couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, and that issue was just being a little bit too far of a pass, because you want to find, and I always talk about this when it comes to passes down the middle. You want to find that pocket between the linebackers and the safeties, and that sweet spot closed once the safeties started to drop.
Nickel look here from the Steamer defense, expecting a pass, and they get it. Pass middle, another tipped ball. Freddie Trammell couldn't close his hands around it.
Yeah, and this time it was good coverage from the linebacking core, knowing to step back, knowing that Jackson was going to throw it on a 2nd and long, and just having the wherewithal to get those hands up, not even just get the interception, is going to be big in this game.
Empty backfield, another 3rd down coming up for OKC. They're 3 of 3 on 3rd down today, making 4 of 4 as that one is caught by Kilgore. He's having himself already quite the evening. Another grab for the tight end.
Yeah, kind of the forgotten tight end of the bunch, just because of his sheer star power behind Bovine and McMichaels. But he's only had 10 catches coming into this game. He's already on his 3rd catch just in this half. He's definitely been making an impact in this game.
Drive will continue from their own 44-yard line. 1st and 10, offset eye behind King Jackson. 8 Steamers in the box, expecting a run, a rare run potentially. No, they only send 4. Screenplay right side, Rahman up the sideline. He will bow out of bounds after gain of 8.
No, it was good separation from Rahman to know that he had the space on that right side, looking for those open holes after that stretch, that little toss area, and just knowing to get as many yards as he can before he gets just bumped out. And getting the 8 yards is crucial, especially when it comes to the run for OKC.
One This run a good one here for Rahman. That's another Renegade first down.
Yeah, and going run. We haven't seen that maybe all too often in this game. I think maybe once before, midway through the first quarter. But more than often, you'll probably see a run, then a pass. We might see a third straight run in this game with this formation.
Said it will be a pass. Jackson middle caught. Oh. Another catch from Kilgore.
Late flag.
And the flag flies, and it's going to be pass interference.
Wow.
It will be on Bossier City, but I wonder if they'll take the reception. Indeed, they will. What a grab here from Kilgore.
Yeah, that was a late flag that went down as well on Freddie Trammell. I was surprised that flag went off in the first place, even after the catch. But regardless, penalty declined. OKC still moving down the field.
Again, Jackson throw again. Blitz coming. That one looking for Bacigalupi. He gets turned inside out with the hit. The ball falls to the turf.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games where Jackson has to make sure that he doesn't throw anything that gets caught in double or triple coverage, or like in a sea of white, or else there's going to be an occasion where the ball's going to be jarred loose, or there's going to be a possible interception on that. He's got to be careful.
2:08 to go here in the first half. Bovine now ushering out of the backfield, will stay back to block. Jackson off his back foot looking for McMichaels. That would have been some play. Instead, it's incomplete. Third down.
Had two receivers that were relatively open. He goes with the slightly more covered option in McMichaels, and it just doesn't seem to work out for him. And now they're going to be in another 3rd and 10 scenario. Empty backfield. Not surprised with this formation.
Renegades have had no trouble on 3rd down here tonight. 4 of 4 with already one on this drive, and this time it's a first blemish. Looking for McMichaels. There's a bit too much mustard from Jackson, and when we come back out of the 2-minute warning, a field goal opportunity for OKC. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here on the call. Happy to have your company this evening, here on a Sunday evening, as Oklahoma City will get an opportunity for a field goal from the right hash. The ball will swing to the inside. It just barely sneaks in from Dorgan. And it's back to a 7-point lead only now for Bossier City.
Yeah, going back to that 3rd down play, Tyler, I was a little bit shocked. When I went, I was a little bit shocked that there was another pass interference call, because I believe it was Zach Holdorf that was trying to vie for that ball as well. But the referee kept his hanky in his pocket, and then it just led to a field goal. But it's still a 7-point game. OKC is still plenty within reach.
Return from Axis. He tries to go straight up the gut, and he'll be taken down rather quickly. So we've had a phenomenal game here, Brett. Every single drive has resulted in points, that including a defensive score to end the first quarter, courtesy of Bogey Bar for the Steamers, but no punts, just points.
Yeah, and in one of these drives, I think if someone gets a stop and there's no points on this drive, then we're going to see a breakthrough in one of these teams.
Noel with a great run to begin the drive inside of 2 minutes. You don't usually see runs inside of 2, but Bossier City, if you can have runs like that, might as well run it all the way down the field like this.
When you have the lead, usually you see the run first out of these teams, and now the question comes, can Bossier City get past midfield? That's when they're going to call the timeouts.
Run this time. Ninchek, except Kanan is there with the tackle. No gain, a loss of 1, they'll say.
Yeah, and that one, again, great work from the linebackers. And Kanan and Gooden are probably 2 of the best that we've seen, at least in their division, in making sure that the outside runs get stuffed.
3-man rush. Pickloff is back foot, nearly finding Callie on the numbers. Callie hit hard, incomplete, under a minute to go.
Yeah, it was good work from Seatbelt. We talked about how he was getting blown by tight ends earlier in this game. He finds a way to just stay with his receiver and then deliver a hit just a little bit under that rib line to make sure the ball goes loose.
There's man coverage toward the near side in the direction of those three wide receivers. Heavy blitz coming. Pickler, middle, caught Kalia. Great catch in traffic. That'll get them on the other side of midfield and a first down and their first timeout.
Good job recognizing the blitz, and Pickler knew that time was starting to run out, so he had to get that ball off quickly, threw it high so that only his receiver could get to it, and he leaped up, had secured the ball after the hit as well.
Down lineman, 1st and 10 from just outside the OKC 45. Pickler looking middle. That's a wide open receiver at the 32-yard line. Banfield up to around the 30.
Yeah, now calling their second timeout. If they can't move any further down the field, then maybe they'll be okay with settling with a field goal. It'd still be a deep one, but right now they are looking for blood. They're looking to make this a 2-score lead before they head to the locker room.
Wide receivers again here for the Steamers. Pickler, that's caught at the 11-yard line. Final timeout called after the Garrison Blue catch. And now they're 11 yards out from pay dirt.
And now Bossier City kind of feeding OKC their own medicine, finding their tight ends down the middle of the field, which is, again, between the linebackers and the safeties, that pocket's going to be open.
44 seconds to go. Blitz coming from the Renegades. Pickler near side of the corner around, incomplete. Kalia again looking for another catch, cannot find it. Coverage on him has just been good tonight.
And the one benefit from an incomplete pass is going to be basically timeout's going to be called because the clock is stopped on an incomplete pass, so they can just resettle, change the formation, and not really focus on hustling back to the line.
Pickler was perfect before this drive. Now with 2 incompletions, however, that's not an incompletion. That's a touchdown for Garrison Blue.
Man, it has been a tight end showcase through the first half between both these teams. But right now, Garrison Blue has been the man, almost 100 yards in this first half, and he's got 6 catches out of Johnny Pickler's 10 completions so far in this game. He has been the #1 target, and right now he's been paying dividends for this Bossier City offense.
Extra point is up and good, and for the first time this season, Bossier City have scored more than 30 points. You have to go all the way back to the last game of last season for the last time they did that, and that was the same amount of points they had, 31 against Houston. And now they've got one here in season 25. Kickoff is on its way. Kneel down is taken, and 35 seconds to go here for Oklahoma City. They'll start their own 20-yard line. They will get the ball to start the second half. We may see them just run out the clock.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be a bad idea to run out the clock, especially with 35 ticks left. 80 yards just to move down the field to get 6 points. That's tough.
Very rare to see a run out of this formation here for the Renegades, but they do, and that's a run up the middle for 2 yards, and they indeed will let the clock run.
Yeah, we might see one more play out of this, but I really doubt we'll see much else. And Oklahoma City has a lot to hang their hat on, at least in the first half. They're staying competitive, they're staying close in this game, and they're finding open holes, especially in that pass game.
The only real blemish at this point's been a pick 6 thrown by King Jackson the last part of the first quarter. There's the final play, which is a Powers run, and that will put 000s up on the scoreboard, and that will take us in to halftime here in week 12. Brett, it's been a great game. This scoreline looks like a final scoreline. However, we're only halfway through this one.
Yeah, and right now it's just been defenses like, and Ramos Lynn says this pretty often when it comes to games like these. Defenses have become optional in this game. We have only seen one drive end with no scores, and that was just the Oklahoma City drive that ended the half. Otherwise, we've seen rushing touchdown, rushing touchdown, rushing touchdown, pick 6, passing touchdown, field goal, passing touchdown. It has been nonstop scoring between these two teams. Defenses are saying, you know what, it's a bend but don't break mentality, and right now the pick 6 from Bogey Barr has really made the difference in this game, which is why Bossier City's on top so far.
16 receptions by tight ends here in the game, only 5 receptions by any other position combined for both teams. So if you like tight ends, or if you subscribe to the mantra hashtag throw it to the tight end, you are absolutely loving this game. And we love that you are here with us here from Renegade Nation Stadium here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here on the call. Happy to have you along. One more half to go here for this one, as Oklahoma City will get a chance to return. It will be Jonathan Kilgore who tries to punch through the middle. A decent return from Kilgore. Good blocking to hold off the onslaught. He gets past his own 30-yard line, so good starting field position for King Jackson and company.
Yeah, and what OKC essentially needs to do to start this second half is just show to Bossier City that they're going to keep fighting back, because if you start stalling on your first drive in the second half, it's going to open up a potential hole that you can't climb out of.
Drive will start with a pass. King Jackson over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Sanders on a post route, but just a little bit of pass being thrown behind him.
Yeah, and again, Dallas Sanders, he's had his struggles so far this season. Jackson's looking for him. It's not like he's been neglected at all in this game. It just hasn't been his night so far in terms of the targets.
It's only his 3rd season in the league. Still a younger QB, still trying to find his way here in the league. They're going to try a screenplay, which gets blown up for the first time today. Good heads-up awareness from Stuart Zomelia, reading the screen, which has worked to perfection here in the first half.
Yeah, and not a bad idea to go with the screenplay, but it was just, like you said, read to perfection by Zomelia and was completely ready for it. Now, Bossier City's goal, stop him on 3rd down.
Empty backfield here for Jackson. They're going to try and throw this one. Jackson over the middle, picked back the other way. Zomelia, who had the breakup on the last play, comes away with a pick here.
Man, that is just momentum shattering if you're OKC, because you've done well despite that one blemish from the bogey bar pick 6, and you were just being a little bit too greedy on that overloaded side, and Zomelia, knowing where he needed to be, just leaped over some bodies, made sure his hands were up so that he can secure the catch, and Bossier City, already inside the red zone, could really make OKC pay.
2nd interception of the season for Zomelia, 27th of Stewart's career. And that will put Bossier City's offense in the red zone to begin their first drive of the handoff near side. And will need to gain a couple here.
Yeah, and I think at this point, you're up multiple scores. We might see, especially inside the red zone, a lot of run attempts coming from Bossier City, unless they change their mind on this play. I only see 2 receivers out. Sorry, there is a tight end on either side, so this could be a pass as well.
Coverage tripping up, they're sending a blitz, and Bossier City run the other way. Nimchek nimbly through the line, and it's 1st and goal, Steamers.
All right, Tyler, you talked about it. We're looking for the trifecta of rushing touchdowns, and Johnny Pickler still hasn't had his rushing touchdown yet. This would be prime field position at the 3.5-yard line to get that touchdown, don't you say?
I would say so, and they're in a very similar formation in which to do it. I formation. Pickler gonna try it, and he does! There is the team hat trick of rushing touchdowns. Both halfbacks and the QB in to score for the Steamers.
Prepare your playbooks, for Tyler Falk and I are the soothsayers. We knew exactly what was going to happen at the 3-yard line. We said, you know what? It is Johnny Pickler's time to get into the end zone, and what a time to do it. Now, an extra point away from being up 21 points, getting the separation that they desperately wanted throughout this game against OKC, and really making it even tougher for OKC to make this a contest.
Now, what would you call it? A clean sweep if Speedy Gonzalez was able to get the 4th rushing touchdown, his 1st of his career? That would be something for the Steamers. That would be something they'd be able to hang their hat on for the season, which really hasn't gone their way. A bright spot here toward the end of the season should should send these Steamers fans and teammates home a little happier. Still playing very good football here tonight as they kick it away here to Oklahoma City. Here comes Kilgore again, trying to find a space toward the near side. He's got a couple of blocks, another stiff arm, another defender falls down. Kilgore on the sideline up to the 46-yard line. Another great return for the tight end as we go back to the VFN studios and Kevin Irvine for a game break.
Thank you, guys. Vancouver shutting out Albuquerque in the first half, but on the first drive of the third quarter, Kyle Finnemore with the score. Adams looked like they were going to make a game of it, but Vancouver just got another score, 28-7. They're up late in the third. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. Good news for the Legion fans and for a certain analyst here in the booth. 38-17 our score line here, though, and the Renegades will start this possession off in much better field position than the last one. I wouldn't say by too much, though. Screenplay near side, and Rahman had nobody out there to help, but he does muscle his way forward for 4 yards. And what's really going to happen now is King Jack's going to really shrug off the interception. Did a good job getting back on schedule there with that pass.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be too surprised in this drive that he goes over the 30 pass attempt mark. He's already at 26. In this game so far, and this would be plenty of opportunity down 21 to really let that baby fly.
He did have his 10th passing touchdown of the season earlier in the ball game. Now looking for more yards here. Jackson somehow finding Kilgore, making the most of Queen Jackson being on the sideline tonight.
Yes, somehow is right, Tyler, because that was an OKC Oreo sandwich between two very nice pieces of Bossier City cookie that somehow still found the hands of Jonathan Kilgore, who has been electric in this offense. It just continues to get those catches.
Jump side ends near side. From the Steamer 43, and no gain. They'll say even just a yard, really, as the tackle is made by Trammell.
Yeah, and again, you're looking at an instance where OKC trying to establish something different, trying to get some short game going, and it just isn't working out for them as it has been all season.
Offset eye, Jackson doesn't like what he sees out of the Steamer heavy front. Jackson now going to throw, and wow, Michaels! Jackson, no fear even after throwing the pick on the last drive.
Yeah, no fear, cero miedo, whatever you want to say. That was gutsy, because that was an absolute blitz and a half coming from Zomilia, who is probably feeling the most confident out of that Bossier City defense. Still found a way to get to McMichaels, who was tightly covered as well. Those are the plays that you want to keep on your mixtape for season 25.
On first down, minimal gain for Powers. They'll say he got 3.
Yeah, it's that very generous 3 after they gave him a very not generous 1 yard on the last little bit there. So kind of giving back, but 2nd and 7 maybe opens up the playbook a little bit, but I wouldn't be too shocked even on this formation. It's a pass.
Try and stretch it out left side. Rahman spinning out of 1 tackle, picking up good yards. 3rd and short upcoming now here for the Renegades, an area which they've seemed to struggle in here the later part of this game, but earlier they were perfect.
Yeah, and the one thing that OKC has to think about here is 3rd and 2. It's a wide open playbook now. It looks like they're going to go run again. I wouldn't be too shocked, especially with that receiver playing on that I-Jax formation. They could go with a pass.
They do. Jackson to the end zone, incomplete. It looked like the Steamers were guessing wrong, but they showed a different picture, and Gunny McGuire comes up with a deflection on the Hall of Famer, and Oklahoma City will now more than likely kick a field goal.
And Bossier City still brought a little bit of heat. They still had 2 guys that were coming from the outside on wide blitz runs, but the great thing about that play is that there was 1 linebacker that stepped back, and then the safeties kind of played in the zone area so that they were ready for any touchdown pass. So that was a picture-perfect call if you're Bossier City.
Oregon will get the 20th point of the game for OKC on the board. It's now 38-20. Steamers have the lead here in Oklahoma's capital. Hey, I say it again, like this video. Please support our hard-working crew by smashing that like button, subscribing, and commentating on this video. It really helps the channel out. Turn notifications on so you'll never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. Thanks for your support of the Virtual Football Network and the SFL as the return from the Steamers. Bynum-Chick gets them up to the 24-yard line. The Steamers, Brett, have had no trouble moving the football tonight. Every single drive has been a score.
Yeah, Rob Noel averaging 6 yards a carry, Nemchek at 5.8. Johnny Pickler at 83.3 click rate with his completions. I mean, this is everything that Bossier City has wanted all season.
5 drives, 5 scores, and they start this drive with a run from Noel, who gets corralled from behind. A good heads-up tackle there made after 3 yards.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be too shocked if they went back to the run and they just go opposite side for Noel, or maybe they go inside with Nemchek on this second run, because it's worked for them at least in this third quarter.
Over 100 yards combined for all the tailbacks. Pass right side, Connor just get more of the receiving core involved, or how about Adam Williams, another first down.
And again, Thomasina Rahman feels like playing 2 or 3 different positions, as there is a clear open spot. 98 having a very tough time trying to read where his tight end defender is going to go. Gets completely blown by, and it just seemed like easy work for Johnny Pickler.
Three wide receivers, handoff Noel middle to the logo. No further, they'll say a gain of 4 here for Noel. And the one thing that really hasn't hampered the Steamers' progress here, Brett, no injuries, no crazy infractions, just good football, good solid football from them here on 2nd and 6.
The odd PI here and there, but that's been their only blemishes so far.
Pickler sets and throws, and finding Williams again, unhurried, unhustled for the majority part of this night, and he comes through again.
Yeah, and Pickler's going to get himself close to 200 yards, but over 150 of them have come from their tight ends alone. Blue and Williams have been the stars of the pass game, and it has made Pickler's job so much easier.
You rarely see this in today's game. Over 80% completion percentage from Johnny Pickler. Noel on the toss right side. He'll gain maybe a yard as Kanan and company are there to bring him down.
Yeah, Noel really wanted to try to extend it right to the sideline so that he could just turn the corner and get those yards, but he just couldn't get the speed and the acceleration to get past those men.
Run Nemchek near side. That's another short gain. We'll bring up 3rd and 5 here for the Steamers with 3:26 to go.
Yeah, and right now, Bossier City's sitting confident, 18-point lead at the moment, so they're kind of confident, just kind of running it down. And now 3rd and 5, I expect to pass.
Blue with the man in motion. He's been on fire. 6 targets, 6 receptions, and a touchdown. Pickler looking middle, looking for him again, and it falls off his back plate. Blue couldn't find it in time. First target, he has not come up with a reception, and the Steamers will have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, and I think Bossier City's still going to be okay with that, just because they've kind of dictated this third quarter a lot, and they've really blown this game wide open. It'll go right back to a 21-point lead if Fennick can hit this 48-yarder.
Left hash, snap spot, and he remains perfect. 41-20 in favor of Bossier City. There's just 2 weeks left in SFLM Season 11, and it's anyone's game at the top of the standings. Birmingham and San Jose are at the top. The Flight host Anchorage at 6 p.m. Eastern. The Hellhounds travel to Philly at 8 p.m. Eastern. San Diego clashes with New York at 10 Eastern. The stars of the SFL of tomorrow right here on VFN. We are back underway. Oklahoma City find themselves down by 21. As here comes a return. One man that's done a pretty decent job is that man there, Kilgore, with some decent returns, not only able to get to the 28-yard line here, but still not too shabby from the Renegades here tonight. But still going to try and find something to get back down the field, get some more touchdowns instead of field goals.
Yeah, they still got to get some scores going. It's not completely out of reach, but OKC definitely needs to start, getting into 4th and 5th gear here.
Jackson, middle caught. It's McMichaels. He's to near midfield as the Renegades get off to a hot start of the drive.
And again, King Jackson looking for his reliable options, and McMichaels, he's just bursting past the first level, and sometimes these linebackers just aren't ready, so the safeties have to come in, and you see Holdorf trying to stay with McMichaels and wasn't fully ready for that, so it was an easy catch and secure for McMichaels.
Jackson caught. Bachagalupi up to the 43-yard line, and the Renegades continue to hustle down the field.
And again, OKC is looking for that middle of the field, which worked really well for them, especially in the late stage of the first quarter and a lot of the second quarter. And both tight ends and receivers are starting to find that spot that's very much being a sweeter spot for them. So they're going to continue going that route.
Jackson again looking middle. This time hit hard. Zach Holdorf gets in there in the nick of time to jar that one free.
Yeah, and Holdorf has kind of been the last guy to really save some of these passes as well. Yes, Jackson's throwing the ball a lot, but he's completing him under 60% at the moment. So a lot of that reason has become because of Holdorf and guys like McGuire and Zamilia.
Jackson, gets crushed. Just a heavy blitz coming off the edge. And Jobu McSlim with the takedown.
Yeah, that offensive line maybe wasn't quite ready. As that snap happened, he swam through his offensive lineman and bam, hits Jackson without even thinking of going through his second level of progressions. So Jackson had no time to get that ball off.
4th sack of the season for McSlim, 29th of his career. Jackson gonna throw it, caught, Bovine to the 23-yard line. That's what the doctor ordered for the Renegades. Way to keep the drive going on 3rd and long.
Yeah, and Bovine's been quiet compared to McMichaels and even Kilgore here tonight, but when you're that wide open on what looked to be like a covered 3, you're gonna find those open holes between the safeties and that lingering corner on that cover 3 as well. So Bovine, right spot, right time.
Jackson looking again, middle, and it's hit out of the hands again. That might have been Holdorf again on Bovine.
Yeah, and that one maybe a little bit too close to comfort in terms of coverage for Bovine, and that would have been another spectacular catch on a huge resume of spectacular catches from Bovine, but he just couldn't manage to hold on to that football.
Asanai, 2nd and 10 minutes ago. We're in the 3rd quarter. Jackson middle again. Bachagalupi to just outside the 2-yard line, and the Renegades are back in scoring distance.
Quick check, that's McMichaels down the middle again, and it seems to be that's that favorite spot for the tight ends right now, and it's not only been the 2 stars, it's been Kilgore that has been reaping the benefits of it as well. Now the big question comes, are they going to start with a run on this 1st and goal, or are they going to look to pass out of this heavy set formation?
A little over 2 yards out, I formation. Jackson scanning the defensive set. They'll try and run near side. Tom Robin untouched. Touchdown Renegades. The scoring continues.
Yeah, and the beautiful part of that play is that Bossier City was expecting an inside run the entire time and could have had Zomilia stuffed right at the line, but they decided to go with the stretch, and Rahman goes completely untouched. 2nd rushing touchdown of this game for Tom Rahman, and it keeps OKC in this game.
Oregon on to tackle on the extra point. Snap a spot, kick is up, and it is good. 41-27. Now the score here from OKC. Speaking of 40 points, this is the Bossier City Steamers franchise's 24th game in franchise history where they have scored more than 40 points. Out of the 23 previously coming into the night, they've only lost 3 games when they've scored 40 or more points. So it's a good omen for Bossier City, but don't tell that to this team this season. They've had to look in their mirror throughout every single second of the game.
Yeah, and again, a complete unfortunate luck from Bossier City has gotten them to this 1-7 record, but I've been saying this since that unlucky run really started to go in Week 5 against Chicago. They are much more than a 1-7 team. They are a playoff team that has just been very unfortunate with the finishes.
Banfield, the man in motion, only called his name once tonight. They'll try and pitch in that direction as Noel cutting it back inside. Quickly brought down after a short gain as we'll reach the end of the quarter here shortly with the score of 41-27. Steamers with the lead and they have the ball. They'll have an opportunity to salt this one away, but do the Renegades have one final last gasp left in them? We're headed to the fourth quarter on the Virtual Football Network. Final frame of regulation here in Week 12 between the Oklahoma City Renegades and the Bossier City Steamers. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Brett Solberg. Happy to have you with us here this evening. Steamers have the ball and have the momentum. Only seen one drive end without points, and that's a heavy shoulder from Noel to pick up a couple yards. It'll bring up third and short.
Yeah, big third down for Bossier City. They want to keep this drive alive. They want to basically kick off as much time off the clock as possible. If OKC can manage to find a stop, which has been very, very rare to the point that we have not seen a proper stop yet tonight, this would be huge for OKC.
Run with Nimchek, untouched, good spin move, and Nimchek tried to turn on the afterburners there at the end, brought down. Well, what a pretty little run from Nimchek.
Yeah, and if you're an offensive aficionado, you have got to love the balance of yardage for Bossier City right now. 200 passing yards, rushing yards going to get close to $140, and they're just cooking on all aspects of the offense.
Side Noel, he gets a block, hurdles a man, and still going to the 43-yard line. First down, Steamers.
Yeah, they're just going to continue just rolling that clock, trying to do any means possible to really not only get Rob Noel his carries, but get this rush game to really make OKC pay tonight.
104 rushing yards for Noel. He's had a very good night. Averaging less than 100 a game. Pass left side, Kalia gets on top of those defenders and hauls in the catch for 9.
And again, they're okay with it because it stays in bounds and it just sheds the clock. So they can, again, they can go with a pass play as long as it stays in bounds.
Pickler gonna tuck it and run. 5 more and a first down.
And he got drilled on that hit as well. It was a big consequence for going with that run, but still got the 5 yards. Like that was a Mighty Mouse kind of hit there.
Under 8 to go here in regulation. Steamers looking for more. Handoff left side, Noel, and he's gonna go for only a couple as the Renegades get to him. Now, unless something dramatic happens, they're about 25 yards out. there is some history between these two teams. Back in the first iteration of Oklahoma City was in play. The Steamers franchise, all the way back in season 12, then known as the Dallas Lobos, put up the most amount of points in franchise history. They were 59-30 in that game. There's a shoulder, and there's Speedy Gonzalez. His first touch of the game is a first down.
Now that you mentioned Speedy Gonzalez, now that he's got to get in this game, and now we can start talking about a potential clean sweep. You've willed it into existence, Tyler.
We're just hoping. Speedy's hoping. The Steamers' teammates are hoping for him. Try a run. Noel, shoulder charge. Still going Noel to the near sideline, out of bounds, inside the 10. Well, the first down here for Bossier City.
Yeah, and now the OKC fans starting to get a little bit more dejected as they start to see Bossier City kind of wind this clock down, which is probably what they've wanted to do in the first place once they got into this stage. But right now, it's been all Bossier City in this fourth quarter, and they've been cruising down the field because of Rob Noel.
And this Pickler going to try and do it himself, but he's just short. Oh, he slid to protect the football. Give him props for that, but nearly had touchdown number 2.
Maybe he was thinking to himself, maybe if I stop myself at the half-yard line, keep this clock running, find a way to get Speedy into the end zone. Come on, give it to us. Give us a fullback run.
He's sitting there in a fullback spot. Instead, Pickler going to throw. Speedy's there. Speedy! Oh, he's just a half-yard shy. Oh, come on. What a good stop, though, for the Renegades.
All right, now do it one more time just from the opposite side.
Second and goal from the same exact spot. Pickler under center. Might see a QB sneaking, dude. Second rushing touchdown for Pickler tonight. And they're up by 20 again.
Yeah, that was just Johnny saying, fine, I'll do it myself. Essentially just jumping over the end zone. That just feels cruel for Speedy Gonzalez, who fought so hard to just try to cross the plane and was literally a chest hair short. But hey, points are points at the end of the day, and I have to say it, nail in the coffin. I think Bossier City's going to cruise to this win.
He did not cross the plane, as another broadcaster would say. Instead, Pickler crosses the plane. And after a long drive of over 4 minutes for Bossier City, 48-27, Steamers now 11 points out from the most in franchise history. And it would be a eerily similar team to do it against in the Oklahoma City Renegade franchise, as that'll be taken down for a touchback by Dallas Sanders. And here comes Oklahoma City again. Now, let's talk future right now, because Oklahoma City, at the moment, is going to fall to 2-6. Not out of the race yet here, Brett, but then you look at the last half of their schedule. 3 divisional opponents, Denver, Chicago, and then Chicago again, and they get LA next week. They have to win all those games, and especially against Chicago, a team that just lost to Sin City here earlier in the game. That's going to be a pass interference on Bossier City. But if they can beat Chicago twice, that would certainly knock Chicago out of the postseason running, depending on where Chicago's at in week 15-16, would almost certainly put Oklahoma City right in the picture. So they still have stuff to play for. Bossier City probably on one of the last teams out of the postseason at this point, but a good performance here nonetheless.
Yeah, and the issue with OKC right now is that the rest of the teams in that Central Division are all fighting for the division crown. That's Denver, Chicago, and Minnesota. And those 3 teams play each other in some form throughout the rest of the season. Nice swing pass to Tom Rahman's going to get them 9 yards, set up a 2nd and 1. So it's going to be even tougher for OKC, even after the LA game. They can get past that to basically face a Denver team and Chicago twice, who are looking to vie for that Central crown. And then for Bossier City, having Albuquerque and Houston to end your season, that is rough. That is very, very rough. So you've got to find a way to just keep that composure, find the best parts of your playbook, and really try to make them shine.
Steamers have the hardest strength of remaining schedule left on the docket. Holdorf there on the tackle for no gain. And the Renegades will come out on 3rd and 1 here to try and get the last yard. But the Steamers are up the creek with maybe half a paddle. Seeing how the craziness goes with the SFL postseason, as Jackson will go under center with under 5 to go. They got to get a first down and more. Rahman bottled up, but he still finds a way to bag up the first down. They go back into the line in a very tight formation, though they have a lot of tight ends. This doesn't really hurt them. Flip out near side. Bovine, very nifty move, and Bovine trying to go down the sideline. Bovine fighting for it. He's going to be half a yard shy. Back to the line they go again.
Try to get that air filter going there for you, Tyler. You're going to be talking a lot.
Jackson again to throw. Blitz coming past near side off of the arm. It would seem off of Trammell, who didn't even know the ball was coming to him, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, and just going back to league standings real quick, it's not impossible for Bossier City to win out the rest of the season and get themselves in the playoff spot. The final playoff spot currently is being held by East leaders Charleston at the moment, so there is a chance.
3rd and a paper clip. Not in its full form, but a completely stretched out paper clip. Flip out right side, in and out of the hands of Skaggs. And it's 4th and inches. Oklahoma City gonna go for it.
Yeah, you gotta go for it. Not only for pride, but you're literally like an extended paper clip away, like you said, Tyler. I don't know if you're talking about a vertical way or horizontal way, but that's pretty much. I gotta say it. Could join Twins close.
This is the game plan for Oklahoma City. Their run game isn't as developed. They're gonna have to pass. Even though you could probably fall forward with the QB sneak out of this formation.
I was just gonna say maybe a draw would work too.
Jackson will roll instead. You're gonna float it wide open receiver. Bachagalupi is there. That's a first down, and that'll move the sticks.
Yeah, that's a picture perfect play, because Bossier City's probably thinking, oh, we'll probably throw deep on this one. No, you only need to get about 2 of Cameron Irvine's chest hairs just to get to the first down marker, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Just go with the short route, wide open play, get to the sideline, stop the clock.
Wait. They're saying it's not a first down, and Oklahoma City's not challenging it? What in the world just happened? Excuse me?
Excuse me.
I am beyond shocked. Steamer's going to come away with this one. Gonzalez to the sideline, first down. What on earth was that?
The only thing I can think of was that as he was tumbling, he went out of bounds, and then they called it incomplete. That's the only other thing, but absolutely OKC got robbed on that play, 1,000%. I'd be speechless too, Mr. Falk. Holy crow!
And instead, we'll be on speedy touchdown watch.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
I formation from midfield. Feet touch. He had his elbows touch. He had his butt touch. He had his belly touch. Everything was touching, but I guess not anything that was important. Garrison Blue, first down and more.
Man, you gotta feel for OKC, because, like, what else do you say other than, first down, let's move the chains? Because that first off, that was a catch, and that was well beyond the first down marker. Like, my sweet goodness.
I'm gonna play AI expert here in place of Cameron Irvine because of what just happened. There's so many things you test, so many things you look for in a game. And that's probably the first time that's happened in a game, in testing, and that's it. It sucks for Oklahoma City. I'm just going to say it. It sucks for Oklahoma City. There's going to be a flag delay a game on Bossier City, but it's just painful. And
this is the first time that we've seen it in the 4K23 era as well.
Yes.
So this is something that, it doesn't happen all too often. So that's why we're shocked when we're looking at it, because it's something that we don't see in this engine. So, you know, like, just chalk it up to just a freak accident almost.
Yep, that's unfortunate. Here comes a blitz coming, doesn't get picked up. Blue with the touch, and he gets all the way inside the 15-yard line. And the clock will continue to roll. We'll hit the 2-minute warning here shortly. And man, what a change of events. We go from Oklahoma City with an outside chance of getting back into this game and nearly a sack there on that play to Bossier City really finishing off this game.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Tyler, it kind of deflates the feel of this game as well, no matter what the scenario is. And we've already seen that it ruins a possible incentive as well that comes with it as well for OKC, who are definitely a team that is looking to pile up the cash so that they can, you know, reload for next season. So it's a complete shrugger, and we just have to credit it to just a freak accident in terms of the AI.
Speedy get another catch here, left side, he's going upfield, he's inside the 5. 2nd and 1 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Bossier City trying to look for more points and trying to get Speedy his first touchdown when we come out of the 2-minute warning. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here on the call. Thank you for staying with us throughout this entire game. Steamers have this one well in hand at this point, as the Renegades looking for maybe another stop. Special thanks to Eli Diomas. Here's Pickler. This time he slides in time. 3 touchdowns for the Steamers and a rare sight for Bossier City. 5th rushing touchdown for the team today.
You know, if you were to tell me a quarterback that was going to get 3 rushing touchdowns this weekend, I probably would have said Ty Patak, because he's, you know, prime suspect number 1 when it comes to that situation. I wouldn't have guessed Johnny Pickler. Kudos to him for getting to the end zone 3 times tonight.
This will be the 5th time that Bossier City has hit the 50-point mark. It will be at the moment, their 4th highest scoring game in franchise history, and it will be their highest scoring game on the road in franchise history. So congratulations to the Steamer franchise. That's a new record set here in season 25. Sanders up to the 23 on the return.
Yeah, and it's crazy because talk about the highest scoring game on the road for them. You have to go all the way back to season 13. That was the first season of the Seattle Tyrants coming into town. Bossier City's got a long history with a lot of cities that rep that franchise, but only 49 against Baltimore, and they've put up 55 here tonight. That is something you can hang your flat cap on for sure.
Absolutely. How about this for Bossier City? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drives here for Bossier City. All points. All points. As that's a pass interference. That'll be a free first down for the Renegades as we shoot it over to VFN Studios for our final game break of the night.
It's game over in Albuquerque, Tyler. Toss play out to Jalen Wells with the score. Vancouver 21-0 at the half. It got a little dicey in the second half, but Vancouver holds on. 38-28 the final. The Adams have now lost 2 straight at home. Back to you.
Oops, sorry to Albuquerque. Vancouver came down and stole your win. Sorry about that, Derry. Legion and Brett Solberg, good win for him as Bossier City with 55-27. Jackson's going to have to try and throw this out. He's going to look near side. That's cut. Looking down the field, another flag as Kilgore gets out of bounds. And don't know what this one's on. They're going to say block in the back on Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
when it rains, it pours.
Quick shout out, Jalen Wells, 2 rushing touchdowns tonight on way to the victory as well. He's been really effective the last couple games for your Vancouver Legion. But yeah, when it rains, it absolutely pours, and that was a little bit of an egregious block for sure.
I mean, I don't want to speculate what was going through. Maybe a little bit of frustration after the last drive.
Yeah, it has
how
to
the last
be.
drive ended or something, but that was, you don't, you got to find another way to vent your anger. Mm-hmm. 1st and 25 here for the Renegades from just inside their own 19. Jackson will throw near side off of the helmet of the defender, that being Gunny McGuire, incomplete.
You know the best way to vent out that anger, Tyler? You go to college football 26, you beat Georgia Southern 42-9.
Well, you know, that was a good game. And it was one of the games that led on to our third straight win, with holding our opponents to under 10 points in each game. So we like that, as that pass is caught for 13 yards, still 12 yards shy of the first down marker. I can't believe I'm even saying that at this point. Just first time out call by Oklahoma City, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, still playing for pride at this point, and that's what I like about these teams in the league. Doesn't matter if you're down 7 or you're down by 77. You still fight for pride no matter what. You play to the last whistle.
Jackson finding Bovine near midfield, first down. Timeout call by the Renegades. They're looking for 30 points tonight.
And I'm okay with OKC scoring 30 points, because that offense, despite its ups and downs, has been electric. King Jackson, unofficially right now, 341 yards. Stephen McMichael's at $140. Like, this offense has come out to show today.
It would be the third game this season in which they would have scored 30 points if they can get some more here. Pass near side off of the fingertips of the intended receiver.
And again, going with his reliable options and trying to get to Sanders, still hasn't gotten reception. The only person aside from the inactive Queen Jackson to not get a reception in this game in terms of contracted receivers. But Jackson's been spreading the love out here tonight.
You know, JW Hartshorn, Brett, is partial to Caesar salads. I wonder what our folks in chats after that one sales. Maybe there's a sea salad or something like that, seaweed salad, that maybe some people in chat are partial to. But what's chat's favorite salad out there?
If anybody says potato salad, I'm gonna jump out this booth. That's not a salad, that's a goulash.
Empty backfield, third down here for Jackson, and that one's picked up by Zomelia, taking it back the other way. Zomelia's got King Jackson on his heels. Zomelia gets dragged down, nearly had the Steamers' all-time franchise points total, but Jackson saves it, saves the blemish. But now the Oklahoma City Renegades no doubtedly have they're on the record board twice now for the Steamers.
Yeah, and they're just going to cruise their way onto victory number 2, which for them probably feels like win number 7 with how close these games have been for them. Again, I said this at the beginning of the program here. You flip those one-score games, they'd be a playoff team fighting for the South Division right now. And unfortunately, it's just been one of those seasons for them. But getting this win, trying to turn around that momentum before they get a bye week. They've got 2 weeks to study DC and see if they can crack that Dragon machine, which it seems like DC, starting to get back on track a little bit, but still not where they wanted to be as opposed to a couple weeks ago. So hopefully, for Bossier City's sake, they can really make it a competitive game come week 14.
And for Oklahoma City, they do fall to 2-6 tonight, and we've already talked about their schedule, but they have the promise. It just seems they just can't finish. There's these games where they have and they're in it and they're fine, but then you have the majority of their schedule where they just can't put the offense together. Tonight it was the opposite. Defense couldn't get Bossier City off the field. Offense was able to score. If you put 27 points up on 2 of their losses, you're looking at an Oklahoma City team with a 4-win record.
Easily.
To this point, because the defense showed up in most games, just not the offense, and tonight it was the other way around. Can't get it done. Steamers come away with the win, 55-27 here as we close up shop here from Oklahoma City. Brett, your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, this was basically, like I said at the halftime report, defense was optional in this game, except for explosive plays that were mostly from Bossier City's side. The Steamers kept things clean throughout the entire game. No turnovers from Johnny Pickler. Playing like his prime self was what he needed to do. over 80% completion as well. An elite performance from Johnny Pickler, and keeping things clean is what helped them, and basically was the separation in this game. So kudos to Bossier City playing a clean game and really breaking away in the second half when Oklahoma City really made it interesting, especially when it came to around the third quarter.
18 of 21 is what we have, courtesy of our statisticians, L.A. Diomas and J.W. Hartshorn. Thank you both for helping us out tonight. And of course, back at VFN Studios, thank you to Cameron Irvine for all the work he's put in this entire season, throughout all 25 seasons of the SFL. Looking for many, many more. Brett, it's good to have you back here in the booth with me. It was fun, and thank you all for staying with us throughout tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for the Monday Night Spectacular. And until then, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Bye-bye.